I've had over 100 court cases. Yeah. And even, like, for example, if we were in court with each other fighting in the same state, a lot of the times the solicitors meet each other, they make the deal, they know what's going on, and they're just playing tennis, but they're having billable hours. So we're both paying, and then we're thinking, and the deal's already done, they're not doing something. And that goes on a lot. And like what I've noticed is, like in a load of times with court cases, I won the case because I'm sitting there paying attention. It's a lot of times people, they just let the solicitor do their thing. You can't do that. You have to pay total attention. And there was one time I had seen that they had my signature was done, and I put a zero through. I put a line through my zeros, and the judge was going through some document. Is that your signature? And I goes, maybe, but I said that's not mine, because I copped that the line was not there. They forged it. And because of that, and there was another thing, they had a document, they pretended it was actually an original. I said, that's a coloured scan. I just see that. And other cases, I write a piece of paper to the solicitor and say, look, he said that's wrong. And I've won cases, and I think I wouldn't have won, only that I kept my finger on the pulse, and so don't ever just say, and you can even represent yourself as well. I know a lot of people are starting to do that, because like, they're just billing you, unfortunately. Like, you think they have your back. And the other thing is, when you're kind of learning common law and all this stuff, it's basically saying that I'm not competent enough that I have to give you. Why does the court have to have law language? It should be common law. Yeah. Like, the language should be something that we understand, and it's all trickery. And they say different things that you don't understand, and you're agreeing to it. Mm-hmm. But one thing, when you go in there, they go, what, like, they know who you are, and they're saying, are you Mr. say me, Roy Collin? And you go, yeah. You've just confirmed that you're there for them, and they have the right over you. So they're over you already. And this is, unfortunately, so much trickery that's even in the courtrooms.
Yeah, well, it's unfortunate, because the lawyers that you hire, they're only going to care. They're only going to care so much. They're not going to care as much as you do about this situation. So it feels like even if you hire the lawyer, you still have to be on top of everything, which feels stressful, because it's like, what's the point of hiring a lawyer if I still have to make sure that the lawyer is doing a good job of actually doing his job? You know, and it's just, you know, it's insane and sad how corrupted the world could be. I'm curious, you said you've been through 100 court cases. Like, what is that like? And are you literally physically going to these court cases? And are they held in different countries? Because you seem to have had a lot of experience. I'm just curious.
I've been in the High Court in Ireland. So basically, the 3 properties that they have, so they took everything off me. I lost even my house with my personal belongings. And what they did is they sold all the properties. They didn't even give me information on it, like when it was going to auction or being sold. So I found out later they put them as a pool, and they sell it to like the likes of BlackRock, who come in and then take over the properties and don't pay any tax and double the rent for whoever's coming in. And one of the properties, the one that I had said was like valued at 125, I had an offer of 200,000 for that, because if he's on a plot of like 3/4 of an acre, and it was newly renovated, I'd renovated a house. And basically, I said full and final settlement. I had a 220 mortgage on it, and they wouldn't accept it. But they sold it for something like 165 themselves, and came after me for the excess. And that's why I was in court. And when you're in the court in Ireland, in the High Court, it's not like, you know, defendant, plaintiff, and you both have a solicitor. It's in a room with a judge who doesn't really know what's going on with the case. And you've got like 150 people, but it was all barristers. Like, they're the top level. They're very extensive. So I'm there to represent myself. I'd lost everything. Couldn't afford a solicitor even if I wanted. You don't get legal aid. I mean, if I had raped somebody, killed somebody, you get legal aid. But when it's your loss, you lose everything in your life. No, you don't get that, which is kind of strange. It should be the other way around. But you're not entitled to that. I'm not sure in the States, but in Ireland, that was the way. And I'm fighting these people. So he opens a file and he's looking at it, and 8 times I had to go back, and I could see so much corruption. It was like, you know, people go and say, oh, I got KPMG. They charged me €15,000 extra. When was that? 2 years ago. You should have took it up with them then. Bang, ruled in favour of the banks plus interest plus penalties. Every case that I was there on the 8 times. And when I was there at the final date, I thought I was going to win, because previously I had an affidavit as a sworn statement, and this kind of crappy lie stating their facts, and I rebutted that. Plus I had 47 points from me, destroying them with all their fraud and everything. I had loads of information, and they couldn't respond to it because there was no way that they could actually do that, because they would be, you know, proof. Yeah. And one judge said, you should have responded. He said, there'll be serious consequences. And they offered €1,400 to me for travel expenses, and we were to come back in 3 weeks. So I thought, at that stage, I'm going to win. This is going to be done and dusted. I came back, different judge. And in the morning, he basically started to go, this is going to take too long. So you're there like 9:30 or something like that. We'll do it at lunchtime. Then he starts again, not too late. So I was there till like 5 or 6 o'clock. And if I'm gone, I lose. But the barrister can go, I've got another case, and leaves, and that's okay. So even at that, there's a bias. So when in there, the barrister starts talking, saying everything. And then when I go to talk, the judge just stops me and even let me say it. And somebody stood up and said, what's going on here? And he said, get out if you don't shut up, to the person. So,
Wow.
and I'm like, this is so much corruption. So then he basically ruled in favor of the bank. So then he starts discussing interest and plus the barrister's cost. That could have been about 300 grand, like, because they're about 10 grand a day. And I said, listen, I'm trying to fight this for over a year, and you've never responded to my affidavit right now. He goes, okay, fair enough. So he didn't get caught on interest or penalties or their costs. And I wanted to go to the European Union to fight this. And I found out that I had to appeal to do that. And if I appealed, it opened up it again. So it opened it up to plus interest plus penalties plus the next round. So you were talking like something like 68 grand versus maybe 500,000. And when I saw full corruption the whole way through, I wasn't going to take that risk. So I didn't go forward. And it was like, and in Poland, I had a criminal case. So they were trying to give me 3 years in jail for basically, we ran out of money. We couldn't pay for the water. The water got turned off and they said I done it intentionally. It was the water company that came along. So the tenants who never paid anyway, there was 3 left, took me to court and they wanted to give me 3 years in jail. And it was my own experience again, sitting down when they came into court, more corruption. They brought the 3 witnesses together at the same time, which would never happen. But because of what they said, I was able to catch them out in lies. And the judge started screaming at them. And it changed it, because before that I knew she was against me. You know when somebody doesn't like you. And it just changed based on that. And it took us about, I think I had to go in about 20 times with witnesses on just that case alone.